Now let's get into the India and US trade dispute very quickly here. So India was threatened with even more tariffs over the weekend due to the fact that Trump said that they are buying Russian oil and they are supporting the Russian war machine, and this is in violation of American policy to not allow Russia's war machine to grow. And because of all of this, Trump is threatening something called secondary sanctions. Sanctions on top of previous, secondary tariffs, I should say, on top of previous tariffs to raise all of these prices. Now, again, I personally quite agree with President Trump on this one topic. I agree we should not be allowing Russia to fund its war machine by selling energy products to countries around the world, particularly countries like India that are an ally of ours, right? It's not fair that the US, NATO, the Europeans, the Canadians, we're doing so much to weaken Russia, and then some of our other allies are funding it via oil purchases. But with that being said, there are many more strategic, targeted, accurate, pinpoint ways to punish the Indians for buying Russian oil than to to tariff their entire economy. Tariffs are a blunt tool. If you tariff iPhone manufacturing in India, that's not going to stop the purchasing of Russian oil. You can do direct things about Russian oil. You can make it harder to ship it. You can make it harder to settle in dollars or whatever you want to do. But in my opinion, there have to be more pinpoint tools than these blunt, sharp, wide tools like tariffs. Now, particularly with India, India is, in my opinion, the most critical country in the world at this point. Why do I say that? Because they're the one major country in the world that still has not picked their side decisively in Cold War 2.0 between the United States and China. The Europeans are with the Americans, the Iranians, the North Koreans, the Russians are with the Chinese. India is the one country, and you can maybe say Saudi Arabia and Qatar, although they lean a little bit more towards the United States because of security reasons. India is one of the only major countries that has not decisively picked a side. And the more we excessively punish the Indians for things like tariffs, for things of that nature, the more we push them towards the Chinese, and that would be a massive loss. India is the fastest growing economy in the world. It's the fastest growing major population center in the world. As an example, Apple is setting up shops in India to produce their iPhones in the event that China invades Taiwan and they will no longer be allowed to produce those iPhones in China. So I think as we work with India, we should be strong in our beliefs. We should be strong and firm in our belief that they should not be buying Russian oil. But we should be going at it in a very select and careful way as to not excessively punish someone that we realistically need as an ally. I am a practicer of realpolitik, which is something that Henry Kissinger termed in the 70s, and it essentially means that as you go about your foreign affairs, you should keep in mind, as you try to improve the world based on your moral understanding, keep in mind practical realities. I believe with India, we need to be practicing a little bit more realpolitik here. Yes, it is noble and it is righteous that we do not want them buying Russian oil and funding their war effort against the Ukrainians. But at the same time, if we punish the entire Indian economy and the American economy just to stop them from purchasing that oil, are we taking it too far? Can we be a little bit more measured with our response? I think